Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. Today, I get to talk about a book that I'm really excited about from one of my favorite publishers, Walking God's Green Earth, and that is Suntup Editions. Once again, it's Suntup Editions Day, numbered edition day as well, and that really is just too sweet. Too great. I do love it indeed. And this one is a book that I already have. Who needs two copies of a book? Right? I've already got one. I've got this copy right here. Perfectly good, perfectly fine copy. And why'd I have to go and buy another one? Because Suntup Editions made another one. And that's where I'm at today. The friendly neighborhood mail lady has truly hooked a brother up with a great big, heavy, heavy box. They got it to me. No bumps, no dumps, no spills. It looks good, and I can't wait to get it open. So this one, as you probably have already figured out, is the numbered edition of The Godfather by Mario Puzo. And there's a lot to be excited about here. Not only has Suntup Editions made what looks to be a beautiful, fine, high-quality book, but they've also gotten a big get. Francis Ford Coppola wrote the foreword, as well, or wrote the introduction, as well as signed the book. So wow, good. A lot of people excited about that, and I'm excited all the way around. And when we get started right here, I'd like to show you some of the things that Suntup does. Give credit where credit is due, is what I always say. Suntup Editions puts in the work to make sure that this book's going to get to me in great shape. In order for somebody to defeat this, it's going to take a lot of work. We have foam on top of the book. You can see all the way around the book. Again, it's foam, and it's stiff foam. So it's going to give you the good protection that we need to make sure our stuff gets to us in fine, tip-top shape. Another neat thing that Suntup Editions does, some other publishers do a thing like this, and I really like it. It's an accessory, and I dig accessories, and that is the custom bookmark, Mario Puzo. The Godfather, introduction by Francis Ford Coppola, illustrations by Art Werger, and Suntup Editions 2023. So when they gave away a hint for this book before they ever announced it, and it was a picture of what I think is Times Square. It was a picture like that, and one smart fella, I don't remember who it was, someone smart person, it might have even been a lady, on the Suntup Editions Collectors Facebook group, figured it out based on a picture and told us all they think it, or they were sure that it was The Godfather, and turns out absolutely correct. And here's another example of that packaging, how great it is and why it is so successful. The numbered editions usually will come in a bag. Let's open up this bag, get the tape off, and see what we came here to see. A cigar-style tray case enclosure for The Godfather, and it is wrapped in Japanese cloth. You can see that cloth, and there's the spine. It looks so good. That's what's going to go on. That's what I want to see on my shelf. It's going to look just like, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Go home. Find yourself a home. It's going to look like that on the shelf. It's going to look so good. It's not going right there. I got to figure out what spot it'll take, but it's going to look good on the shelf. Good. Which is nice. And again, this cigar style enclosure, it's a box that the book sets in. So let's open that box up and see what we see. So that velour lining right here, feel it. It's so soft. It's so nice. I want to sleep on that. That would make a good pillow, I think. Anyway, and this box, we get a variety of boxes from Suntup. Some of them will have an open end here, so you can easily grab the book and take it out. Others will have this ribbon here, which I'll pull to help to get the book unseated from its spot. But here's what it looks like inside the box. So inside the box, man, it looks good. I'll take it out. Don't worry. If you're worried that I wasn't going to take it out, fear not. I'll take it out. Just wanted you to see what it looks like. It does look so good. But I'm going to try to do this on a table. Be smart. Set your stuff on a table Don't risk dropping stuff like me. I didn't drop it, but I might. I'm warning you. And if I do, I won't be happy. But anyway, just to show you, I'm going to take the book out using my ribbon, grab the book, and set this. Hang on. I showed you the velour. I love that word, velour. The velour lining on the front there and velour in the back. It looks so nice, feels so nice. It hopefully will last forever and prevent my book from being scratched or anything like that. Since it'll sit on the shelf most of its life, it probably isn't going to endure much abuse, but it's nice to know that you got quality enclosures. A lot of people make these enclosures and they don't do so many things, but holding this goatskin leather bound, full goatskin leather binding, it feels so good. I can almost feel, I don't want to say soft, but it feels so good in the hand. That's quality. That is quality. And you can see the blind stamping on the front cover, and then also the embossed or gold stamping with the Godfather, and then the gold bands around it. Man, it's nice. You can see in the light that blind stamping is so cool. And then the spine. This is one of those books. The case is so nice, so beautiful. It's almost sad to cover this up though in a case. And again, you can see on the spine the blind stamping there, the attention to detail. This is a Suntup book, probably like none other. It cost enough, but this, I'm just thinking, racking my brain, I can't think of any Suntups that I have that at this point in the presentation, in the unboxing, that would match this kind of quality. And the leather is nice. It is nice, so nice. And there's our end papers. Now they're black end papers, right? No big deal, but feel it. Holy cow, feel this. Hanamule Bugra paper there. It when you touch it, it doesn't feel like paper. It feels more like cloth, and it's thick and just nice in the papers. I got one more thing I want to show you before I show you my signature page. So there, just check out that beautiful, excellent artwork. The artwork, I already 14 copper plate intaglio illustrations, and I am the expert on intaglio. I can even say it. I don't know if I can say it correctly. Intaglio. It sounds good to me. Never heard that word before. I probably have only heard Paul Suntup say it in my life. But 14 of those, and man, You Didn't Make Him, He Made You by Francis Ford Coppola. The director of the movie The Godfather wrote the introduction. The legendary film, the film, one of the, an iconic movie. I was a teenager. I had a friend that had a big poster of The Godfather up on the wall in his room. And that was the first time I'd ever watched the movie The Godfather. Big fan of Al Pacino and Michael Corleone. I know. But Michael Corleone was my favorite character in the film. Who was yours? However, back to the matters at hand. First published in 1969 and sold over 9 million copies in 2 years. Stayed on the bestseller list for 67 weeks. You didn't think I could know things like that. I don't. I read it, but I remembered it. So proud of myself. I'm doing my memory testing here, trying to see if I can keep this stuff all in there somewhere before it falls out. But the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the back. Suntup editions typically will put their colophon page or the signature page in the back. And right off the bat, when I go to the back, I find this errata sheet. I said it's an errata sheet, but let me check it out. It doesn't say errata. It says, as work progressed on the Suntup edition's publication of The Godfather by Mario Puzo, we decided on several upgrades to the production. We are pleased to update the following specifications, correcting the information on the colophon page, which had already been printed and signed. The editions are printed letterpress by Max Koch and Bradley Hutchinson on a Heidelberg cylinder press in Austin, Texas. P.S. If this is Austin, I still love you. That's a song. I don't even like the song, but anyways. The print run on the numbered edition is adjusted to 350 copies. Paper for the lettered edition is mold-made rag content archest text wove since the Zircall mill has unfortunately closed. All illustrations in the lettered edition, which I do not have, are original aquatints printed on Halamule biblio paper, except the frontispiece, which is mezzotint. So there you go. I'm going to set this to the side. I won't lose it. I will stick it back in here where it belongs forever and ever, at least until I no longer own the book or until I am gone. That is too sweet. It is signed. Mine is copy number 16 of 350 copies, signed by Francis Ford Coppola, as well as Anthony Puzo. And so there is my signature page, or the colophon page. So as you can see it, I think this numbered edition, one of the big attractions was the Francis Ford Coppola signature, but what I've already shown you here is just fabulous. Fabulous. And look at the end bands. I don't know how well you can see it. They are leather. The end bands are leather as well. It is so nice, a nice touch. When you could take that much work to make the end bands leather, that's sweet. That's good stuff. It looks good here. So the next thing I want to do is show you this letterpress printing. Let me find a good page. We'll just go back towards the front here, and yeah, just look back here again. We were already here, but touch it. You can feel it. Feel it. Feels so nice. And the paper it's not overly thick, but it feels good. You're talking about a book that's probably almost 600 pages long. You can't have too thick a paper or you get a gigantic book. So you got to find that happy medium. Quality paper, but it can't be too thick. And that is Mohawk Via paper. Printed letterpress on Mohawk Via. So now what I want to do is I want to go through here and find some more of these illustrations. I showed you the frontispiece already. Let's see how many of those 14 illustrations I can find just by letting my fingers do the walking. There we go. There is one of our illustrations. Now the illustrations are not letterpress. They are tipped in and they are printed offset. I might have missed some of these. The illustrations don't go all the way to the edge. So when I'm just flipping through a book, if they don't go all the way to the edge, sometimes it makes it more likely that I might miss one. But since they are they're tipped in, maybe I'll have some luck. Here's, nice. I wonder what he's gonna find in his bed. Nice. Then they're coming. That makes me worry that I might have missed some. But anyway, I'll show you all of the illustrations that I can find. I dig it. Man, it looks so good. It looks just right for the story, for the time period. They're wow, just look so good. For me, there is a time when a black and white illustration is most appropriate. And I'd say this book is a perfect example of it. But the black and white illustrations are nice. They are appropriate, and I am finding some. Just hoping I didn't miss many, if I missed any. If you're keeping track at home, there are supposed to be 14 of these things. 14 of these, and I found a few. Man, the artwork. That's one of the things that Suntup Editions does. Not only do they give you such fine quality books, they give you slip cases, tray cases, and stuff like that, but it's the artwork. It's the total package, man. That's the artwork in there. There are limited edition publishers out there that make books that I buy with no artwork, but I can always count on someone like Suntup Editions or someone like Paul Suntup. People like Suntup Editions. You can always count on them to get you the artwork. And it's not the same stuff. It's not the same artists. They spread it out among styles, spread it out among artists, types of art, and things like that. So that it really does make the book something special. Not only is it an amazingly bound book. Man, this goatskin leather is something. The blind stamping, the hot foil stamping in gold, it's all so nice. But the illustrations also really make the story. I love reading an illustrated book. And as much as it might upset a few, I don't read my Suntup numbered editions. I've never read one yet. I typically prefer to read something more like what I've shown you right here in terms of reading. Because for me, it's just my taste. Please don't hate me. Anyway, my taste for reading is I want to be able to not worry about what I do to the book in my hand. This book right here, if I'm holding it for hours and hours and hours, I worry. Also, this book I can throw in my bag and take it to Miami, take it to Fort Payne, Alabama, wherever I want to go, and I don't care about this thing getting dinged and danged and bumped and all that stuff, leaving it sitting on a table overnight for the kids to go shove it out of the way while I read. But anyway, I typically don't read my numbered editions, but I can only imagine how having this thing, and you can see sitting in my hand, how this thing will sit on the table, and how nice it would be to read this one right here. So there are those who will buy a book like this and they'll read it. Maybe they'll even read it again. I don't know. I just don't. I like that. To me, this is a collectible item that I want to have on my shelf, and I'll usually leave the reading to books that I don't mind busting up or messing up or anything like that. Pay a few bucks for a ratty old paperback, read it, and then pass it on down the road, give it to somebody, or trade it in at a bookstore and get some store credit or something to apply towards the next batch of books. And that's typically what I do. But this artwork is coming fast and it's coming hard, and I stand here in fear and trembling that I may have missed some, but I'm showing you what I can find. Man, it's good stuff. Great artwork. What a great book. I'm glad to have it in the collection. Suntup Editions has delivered. This book has brought about a lot of excitement. I remember when it was first announced and they showed us what we were going to get and the signature and who was going to be signing and all that kind of stuff. Man, it was excitement. And as far as I know, there are still a few artist editions left on Suntup Editions website. I looked a little while ago and there were 3. So I don't know if that was 3 that were just popped up or they've been selling down slowly till they got to 3, or what the deal was. But there are a few left. I want to put the errata back in here on my signature page. But Suntup they've hit a home run, man. This is a doozy. This is one sweet edition and an addition to my collection. The Godfather by Mario Puzo and the Suntup Editions numbered edition just blows the mind. I bet almost every other terrific publisher out there publishes lettered edition books. Their lettered edition books are probably nowhere near as nice as this. And many of them are going to print lettered edition books and charge you more for it than this. So this is a lettered edition book. They just made 350 copies of it. See what I mean? The quality wise, it's there though. And this Godfather by Mario Puzo and Suntup Editions has to be, I've said it before, but this probably has to be one of the nicest books in my collection. I wouldn't lie to you. No, it's got to be one of the nicest books in my collection. I can't think of another that would beat it when you talk about this and this and this and the story and all put together. But I can think of no more lies to tell. So thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. And c'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo. Go home. Oops. Go home. There we go. There you go. You can teach a monkey to fly a spaceship. I can put a book in a box.